All right, this is an amazing 251. Like everything that he's playing over this is just so awesome, and there's so much great info packed into this line. So he's doing this over the tune You're My Everything, the 251 to B flat major. So we're going to start out on our C minor 7 chord. And this line doesn't line up the best on the guitar. It's kind of one of those examples of a saxophone line where we have to use a couple of kind of awkward fingerings to get it to translate over, but I think it's worth it. It just sounds so cool. So he starts out with a D minor 7 arpeggio over the C minor 7 chord, which is really interesting, gives us a lot of great colors against that minor 7 chord. So the fingering I'm doing my pointer finger on C on the first string, then on the second string I do my pinky on A, pull off to F with my pointer, and then my middle finger plays D on the third string. So if we look at that arpeggio against C minor, if you're familiar with the Dorian mode and all of the 7th arpeggios that line up within it, the 1 is minor 7, the 2 is D minor 7. So he's playing the minor 7 arpeggio starting on the 2, which gives us these great colors. So we have the root, we have the 6, the 4, and the 2, or you could say 13, 11, 9 if you prefer. So a really great combination of colors against that chord. So we go, and then after that we go, we keep that triplet, that 8th note triplet pattern going, and he does E flat to D. I do my ring, pull off to middle, then pointer picks F, then middle plays D, hammer on to E flat with the ring, and then pick F again. So basically just what's going on there is like a little triplet pattern where he's just kind of working around these 3 notes, the 9, the flat 3, and the 11. So we start with some color tones, then we end with some chord tones mixed with some color tones. So it's a nice contrast between the beginning and the end of what he plays over that minor 7 chord. All right, now what we do here over the F7 chord, this is my favorite part of the whole line. We start on G flat, which is our flat 9, and he goes chromatically from G flat up to A flat. So G flat, G, A flat, back down, G, G flat. So what he's doing right there, he's just going chromatically from the flat 9 up to the sharp 9 and then back down. And then this ending note is my favorite part. He ends on a D, which is such a great sound. So what I think he's doing right there, because the D note against the F7 chord is the 6, the natural 6, natural 13. So because we have flat 9, sharp 9, and then a natural 6 or natural 13, I would say that this is kind of like the half-whole diminished scale, but with a little bit of chromaticism mixed into it as well. Because anytime you see like sharp 9 or flat 9 mixed with a natural 13, that's usually going to be half-whole diminished, because that's the one note that differentiates half-whole diminished from the altered scale, because the altered scale has a flat 13, half-whole diminished has a natural 13. So that's that one note that really, sticks out to me. All right, and then after that we do more chromaticism, this time from the root to the flatted 7th. So F, E, pull off to E flat, and then back to F, and then D and C, D pull off to C, and that's the 6 and the 5. So, which once again the 6 and the 5 would line up in the F half-whole diminished scale. So it looks to me like he's doing half-whole diminished and throwing in a couple of chromatic notes between the flat 9 and the sharp 9, and then the root and the flatted 7th. So. Okay, and now we get to the 1 chord. Now what he does over this is really wild. So we start on the root note, we just play B flat with our pinky, and then we do a D major arpeggio. Middle finger on D, pointer on F sharp, hammer on your pinky to A. So what's going on here, if you look, he's playing a major arpeggio starting on the 3rd of the chord we're on. So we're on B flat major, and he's starting on D, which is the 3rd, and he's playing a major arpeggio, which gives us the 3rd, the sharp 5, and the major 7. So some of you may be aware of this already, but when you're playing over a major tonality, you can start on the major 3rd, play a major arpeggio, and it gives you a little bit more of an outside sound because we have that sharp 5 now. So it gives us like a major 7 sharp 5 sort of sound. So a great thing to utilize if you want to get more of a modern sound. And then after that, he does a G minor 7 arpeggio, which is more inside, right? We're just starting on the 6. In this case, B flat major. He starts on G, which is the 6 of B flat, and he plays a minor 7 arpeggio, which basically just gives us a G major 6 type of sound, right? Because intervalically it's the 6, the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. So just like a major 6 kind of arpeggio. And then he ends on an E natural, which is our sharp 11. So ends on a really colorful pitch against that major tonality. So, I'm sorry. So that's what we got over the major chord. So once again, great contrast. He starts more outside with that D major arpeggio and then ends it. Still, relatively colorful and not like totally inside, but ending it with more of a Lydian sound, abandoning the sharp 5, like we did at the beginning of the line, just doing more Lydian, doing it with the natural 5. So great contrast. So I'll do the line slow a couple times and then I'll speed it up. 2, 3, 4. So much great info packed into this line. Jerry Bergonzi is just such a monster of a saxophone player. And if you've never checked out any of his books, I would definitely recommend that. He's got some really great method books. One that I worked out of a fair amount a few years back is his book on pentatonic scales. It could give you some really good insight into different kinds of pentatonic scales that you can use for improvising and ways that you can modify some of the pentatonic scales that you already know to get some different sounding tonalities to utilize over a wide variety of different chords. So I will actually include the link to that book in the description. If you never checked it out, I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, Jerry Bergonzi is just such an amazing musician. Glad I was finally able to do a lick of his. And like I said, it doesn't translate the greatest over to the guitar, but I think, it just sounds so good. It's worth exploring. So that is our lick for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. And as always, if you would like to donate and support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/MikeAudetteMusic or paypal.me/MikeAudetteMusic. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the next episode. Take care. Thank you.